Gosh, I've never been asked to describe myself. I think that we always think of ourselves as being a normal, neutral person. Well, I aspired to be elegant, and elegance I felt was not ostentatious. I wished to have a good time. I was also going out, having a good time, pursuing women, the things that one does in one's early 20s. My name is Nicholas Vreeland. I'm the Abbot of Rato Monastery. I'm the first Western Abbot of a Tibetan Buddhist monastery. Never did it occur to me that I would become the abbot of the monastery. Actually, His Holiness said that he wished for me to bring my Western ideas from my Western upbringing and training to the monastery, to this community, and to also bring what I have learned and experienced from here out to the West. And so he said, you must be a bridge. Ours is a community of about 115 monks. The monastery, its purpose is to educate monks, to practice, to meditate more deeply. So the whole idea from the inception of the monastery in Tibet 1,000 years ago was education. So the Buddha taught, do not accept anything I say because I said it. Challenge it. Test it as a goldsmith would test gold before buying it. Test what I say with logic, and if it stands up to logic, only then accept it. And if it doesn't, put it aside. So these are all little debates to learn how to play with concepts, to play with categories, and the relationship between categories. So they're debating about the existence of the horns of a rabbit. So basically, he's challenging him with this non-existent thing, the horns of a rabbit. And he has said that the horns of a rabbit have a name, horns of a rabbit. And he is saying, how can it have the name horns of a rabbit? Because it doesn't exist. And he's fiddling with him. He's playing with him. Because of the physicality of it, you are immersed in it. You are kept focused. You are, there's a vitality and a vibrance that is maintained. I was born in Switzerland, in Geneva. My father grandfather, who was an American diplomat, was sent to Berlin. It was actually my father who suggested to Kennedy that in his talk in Berlin, he make the statement, "Ich bin ein Berliner."
I take pride in the words, "Ich bin ein Berliner."
So that's the history. My grandmother and I were very close. She cared about quality, and quality was caring for things. She had a maid who ironed her money and folded it carefully and put it into her wallet, which was shined. The bottoms of her shoes were shined as well as the tops. And consequently, everything lived long, because if you care for things, they last longer. She was part of a certain society and was considered in her time as editor-in-chief of Vogue, which in those days meant being the editor of all the different Vogues, the empress of fashion. She didn't really treat it as a fashion magazine. She treated it as a magazine to inspire. So that Vogue had this quality of taking you to places you didn't really know about. And therefore, I developed this very strong interest in photography. So, this is mein Liebling. With a big, beautiful lens. Use an 8x10 camera and only take one photograph. There we are, there's Suresh. This photograph of His Holiness I took in 1979. It's the first time I met His Holiness. So as a result of having taken that photograph, His Holiness's secretary asked me if it might be possible to accompany His Holiness on his first trip to America. And then, as I developed this wish to become a monk, I requested an audience with His Holiness it was 1984, and he recommended that I become a monk. So this is the path I would have taken to go to the monastery when I first arrived.
It felt so totally natural. It was sort of amazing that it was something that I leapt into so easily. I think that it's far easier in this environment than it might be in New York or London. But I felt totally at home in my new clothes.
I found that becoming a member of this community among this little group of Tibetan refugees, that I was the only one with the connections to the outside world and the ability to help support the monastery. I had never lived in a society where people simply didn't have the nutrition necessary to survive. Since I had a camera, and since I seemed to know what I was doing, I would be asked, could you take some pictures of some monks? And the monastery took these photographs and sent them off looking for sponsors for the monks. I mean, it takes funds not only to build the place, but to maintain it. I mean, being a Western abbot is definitely unique. In our meeting of abbots, I'm the white-skinned, long-nosed Westerner.
I've discovered the quintessential emblem of who this Injidrapa, which is Tibetan for Western monk, actually is. If you look at Nicky's Birkenstocks, they are so highly polished. He used to own marvelous lob shoes, and when he decided to become a renunciate, or soon before it actually, one day he took all of his lob shoes, which he fetishistically polished for years, because he's a Vreeland and he was trained from early on to polish his shoes very well. He took them all and he put them out on the street on 15th Street. Gave them away to whomever.
First Street.
First Street, sorry, First Street. But you're still polishing your shoes.
Well, they last longer. So it's not that I regard myself as in any way special or unique. For me, I've just taken my little steps along my path, and so where I am is quite natural.